Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I'm crazy about perfumes. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 most expensive perfumes in my collection. For the purpose of this list, I'll be looking at the current prices, mostly because for some of them I don't remember what I paid when I bought the perfume. And if you're interested, today's nail color is Feel the Magic. It's the OPI Barbie collab, and I think this color is pretty close to what I would consider Barbie, the Barbie color. The first one I want to talk about is Maison Kurkdjian's A La Rose. This is a 70 ml eau de parfum, and I purchased it from MFK. This one was an online purchase because it was a bit hard to get in store. It kept on getting snapped up before I could get in there. A La Rose currently retails for $309 at MFK. This is my first full bottle from MFK, and I was super excited at the time that I purchased it. I hadn't really been purchasing perfumes more than a couple $100s for maybe a decade. And this one, MFK Al Rose, as well as Armani's Rose Alexandrie, they seem to have kicked off a bit of a splurge on perfumes this year. Let's give it a spray. A La Rose to me is quite sophisticated. It's an elegant rose, and I get quite a lot of wear out of it. I can spray it on before I go to work in the morning, and I can still smell it on me by the time I leave the office. It has citrus notes, rose, and musk. It really is a stunning fragrance, and I'm so happy that I was able to get my hands on it. Next we have Osmanthus by Acqua de Parma. This one is a big love of mine. This is the 100 ml eau de parfum. I purchased this in store at David Jones in Sydney. Acqua de Parma is an Italian niche perfume house, and they've got this quite distinctive bottle that they use for most of their range. Osmanthus is from their Signatures of the Sun range. Osmanthus currently retails for $446. I think this one has gone up quite a bit because I'm pretty sure I would have spent under $400 on this one when I purchased it. Let's give it a spray. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, I love it so much. Osmanthus has the notes of Neroli, pink pepper, and Osmanthus. This one to me has a solar note. I'm not actually sure what solar is meant to smell like, but it evokes in me the feeling of standing in the sunshine, this particular perfume, and I think that's really something incredible that they've managed to bottle that feeling. In terms of longevity, this one lasts quite long as well on me, and I feel like it radiates that warmth from my skin. Next we have By Any Other Name by ALTAIA. ALTAIA is an Italian niche perfume house. I purchased this from MFK in store, and it's currently retailing for $326. This is the 100 ml eau de parfum. I was initially attracted to this fragrance because it had the notes on the back of the box, and I love that when the notes are visible, so it's easy to get an idea of what the fragrance will smell like. And it is a rose perfume, but it has also bergamot, lychee, and osmanthus. So this one, I like to say, has almost all my favorite notes in one bottle, and it's quite a lovely bottle as well. I do love when the cap is heavy. Let's give it a spray. Stunning. Really is an incredible fragrance, but unfortunately, despite it being labeled as an eau de parfum, this one performs more like a cologne or an eau de toilette. Oh, actually more like a cologne. I find that I have to use up to 10 sprays for this fragrance, so it's a bit of a disconnect between what I expected an eau de parfum to last, how I expected an eau de parfum to last like, and the performance of it. So that's a bit of a shame. Next we have Vanilla Square by Maison Tahite. This is another Italian niche perfume house, and they primarily do gourmand fragrances. They have a vanilla range, a coffee range. I purchased this one in store at Libertine Perfumery, and it's currently retailing for $239 for the 100 ml eau de parfum. Vanilla Square has notes of vanilla flower, vanilla, praline, and benzoin. At the time that I purchased this, I had a very specific vanilla in mind, and this is exactly what I wanted. However, it is challenging for me to wear, as the initial hour or maybe up to a few hours is really quite strong. It's quite an in-your-face initial wear. Let's give it a spray. Oof. So yeah, it's like that meringue. It's like a powdery, sugary headiness to its opening notes, and I get a bit of almond too. So it is exactly what I wanted at the time, but it hasn't translated into something wearable or something that I can spray and then feel comfortable walking out the door in. I actually have not worn this outside of the apartment. So yeah, while I love it so much, and I think it's an amazing interpretation of vanilla, it is, to me, a little challenging to wear. But what I do find is that after the first hour or so, it settles quite close to the skin. I'm quite keen to try more of the Maison Tahite offerings. I think they've got a very interesting range. And the last one I want to talk about today is Guerlain's Neroli Outrenoir. This is the most expensive perfume in my collection currently, and if I recall correctly, it is also the most expensive perfume I've ever owned. It retailed for 550 Singapore dollars for 100 ml eau de parfum. I purchased it in Singapore, which was about 650 something Australian dollars. And this is another one where it says it's an eau de parfum, but on me it performs more like an eau de toilette. So with this one, I've been finding I would spray up to 6 sprays to get enough of it to my satisfaction. And part of the price is that it's customizable and refillable. So there's aspects of the bottle which I chose, and I was told that I could refill it at any Guerlain boutique. In a way, it's nice to have something a little bit special and a little bit unique because it's been customized and engraved. It's the only one like this potentially in the world. Neroli Outrenoir is a Neroli smoked tea fragrance. I've been loving it so much. I purchased it last month and I've gotten quite a fair way through it. Let's give it a spray. It's got that bitterness. I think that's the smoked tea coming through. And then that creaminess, which is of the Naroli. I've discovered this perfume at David Jones in Melbourne in May this year. And what I noticed is that when I sprayed from the bottle in May, it lasted on me all day. I sprayed it on my wrist and I was continually smelling myself, sniffing my wrist, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it, which is why it ended up being something I wanted to purchase so badly despite the price. And what I've noticed from this bottle is that it's not as creamy on my skin and it doesn't last as long. So I'm not sure what the difference is, whether it's to do with that being a tester bottle that I tried in May and maybe it'd been left out, for example, and it had interacted longer with the air, the oxygen, than a fresh bottle has. I just thought that was an interesting difference, and as much as I love this one, I think I love what I experienced in May a little bit more, because it was definitely the creaminess that I just couldn't stop thinking about. And here they are all together, some stunning bottles as well, and a bit of a gold dark theme. What about you? What's the most expensive perfume in your collection, and is it worth the money you spent on it? I would never recommend spending this much money on perfume. Perfume is something which is not essential. It's definitely an indulgence. You could spend much less and still get a pretty good perfume. This is the result of someone who's just gone a little bit crazy and has not put that much of a limit on myself on perfume purchases. If I really want something, I'll save up to make sure I can buy it. I think once we get to around the $200 to $50 mark for a bottle, you're getting a pretty good perfume. It's already pretty special once it's in that price range. And lately I've been drawn the most to Neroli Outrenoir. So this one is getting a lot of action these days. In fact, from when I purchased it, it's been quite heavily favored in my daily decision of what to wear. Guerlain has launched an extra special exclusive range, and I'm quite keen to try their rose from that range, but that will be a long while away as there is no Guerlain boutique in Australia, and it would be something I would have to travel for, which my bank account will probably be pleased about. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!